So good morning. This is the second day of the Tour de France. I had a computer fail with the video of the first day, so I don't have that for you unless I can find it somewhere hiding in my computer. So I've switched recorders and am working on day 2 of the tour. This is Ineos, formerly Team Sky. It is the team time trial. So this is an interesting discipline where you need to bring at least four of your 8-man team across the line. The time is taken with the 4th rider. And that's how the team is awarded the time. But each rider, so Ineos came to the line with 5 or 6. And dropping 2 guys on the course, they will get the time they finish in, not the time the team finishes. But they have on their team Geraint Thomas, who won the race last year, and should they be the fastest team today, they will, in fact, put Geraint Thomas into the yellow jersey. Now, if they're not the fastest, of course, that won't happen. Obvious, right? So when I do this work, clearly I lay out the ink part of the work first. This is a Faber-Castell pen that I'm using. It is an India ink pen, but I like these pens because I don't have to wait for the ink to dry. Part of this whole process is how quick can we do it. So I will be painting every stage every day, sharing the work on my blog, and I will have that site, but it is theartofcycling.blogspot.com, and then posting the paintings on my website where you can purchase them should you so desire. Just about done with the ink. We're just getting the last little bit of the crowd. So this discipline is all about speed and aerodynamics. Now, they're right at the final sprint, so there's more just trying to get the guys across the line. So they're sort of breaking out of their pattern right now and hitting that sprint. And they're actually putting Geraint right here, this rider, across the line first. So should they have the fastest time, they'll put him into the yellow jersey. Now there is some thought process that you don't want to get into the yellow jersey too early, because then you're forced to defend it and you can blow your team out while you're trying to defend the jersey. So I've laid the piece out, ink is in, just getting this last Geraint's other leg there. Now we'll switch to color. When I do watercolor, and actually most of the time when I work with medium, I like to work light to dark, warm to cool. So I'll do warm color first. And the reason I do that is to help protect the colors. I don't want to pollute the color. I don't want to pollute the brush. So if you were to work cool, dark colors and then try to come back with lights, particularly with a transparent medium like watercolor, you would end up messing up your colors potentially. So clearly I don't want to do that. So I will lay in these flesh tones first, and a little bit of the crowd up here, and then work my way down to the dark colors. If I went the other way, I wouldn't be able to get those bright, clean, crisp colors that my work is kind of known for. So here I get a little bit of shadow into these legs. Now, even though it's quite warm and it's summertime, the riders are wearing skin suits, which are designed for aerodynamics, and they all have long sleeves on because the design of the fabrics is even slicker than their own skin. So this team is now Team Ineos. It has been Team Sky for a long time, so they have changed colors. I am happy they've kept their stripe. They used to have a bright blue stripe on their helmets and a blue stripe down their back, and now they just changed that pattern to red, but they have changed the rest of the costume or kit. Less black than it used to be. And then the darker red shoulders that fades into black. So we're just laying that darker red in now, a little bit of purpley red to it. Keep laying the helmet in, but fortunately I'm going to be laying black in, so the mistake is easily surmountable. I am realizing, so now I'm getting a nice clean brush because I want to come back and put, fans will either show up with Burlow jerseys or yellow t-shirts, or the publicity caravan will hand out all sorts of prizes, and one of them are t-shirts. So on the climbs you'll see lots and lots of polka dots. The finish line you'll see lots of yellow. The sprints you'll see lots of green, which are the colors of the respective jerseys for the leaders of those disciplines. This blue up here is one of the following motorcycles. This is, the blues are the gendarmes, the police that escort the tour all the way around France. Although at this point they're not yet in France, they're still racing in Brussels. Tomorrow they'll actually cross into France. So like I say, I'll be sharing the work for purchase later, and that'll be on my website at The Art of Cycling. No, that's the blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com. The website is gregleach.com, and again, that link will be on the comments. And it's GREIGLEACH. Quick word about the media that I am using. These are watercolors. They're cake watercolors, which is what this mixing palette up here is. The cake is sort of like a dried tube, and you just reactivate it by water. But the company that makes these is Richson Art. Lovely company, located in the USA, in Wisconsin. These are St. Petersburg watercolors, if you're looking. Also using their brushes, really great brushes. I never was a purist about brushes because my regular work, I don't use brushes. I use paint sticks, also made by this same company. But they don't require brushes. So I never quite understood the value of a good brush, but boy, once I got these, I will never go back to cheap brushes. It just makes all the difference in the world. You can see just how much pigment they hold, how they hold a point so beautifully, just everything about them. It's perfect. So like I say, I'm painting every stage, every day. The blog will have all the paintings. I'm just doing one video here each day. So be sure to look at the blog and see all of the other artwork. So just about finished with this. All I have to do now is lay in the road surface, and this one will be finished. So I didn't mention, but the blacks, I like to create my own black. It gives the color a little more depth. So this black of their kits is actually vermilion and a deep green. So just getting a little extra highlight shadow in the blacks. So watercolors, again, being a transparent medium, you can continually move the pigment. You can also create layers so you get that extra detail. Now that same black I'm going to use for the roadway, but of course roads aren't truly black. Even brand new tar is not quite black. It has a lot of blue in it, so I'm adding some blue to it. I don't want this super dark, so I'm adding more water, and then keeping that moving. That's the other thing with watercolors, is you can keep the pigment moving until it dries, so you have the chance to move things around a little bit. You don't. but you can still create a line, so I'm trying to make the strokes follow the perspective of the roadway. So if I get any lines, they become part of the image. So see how these are vertical, and then I slowly move to diagonal. Just like the perspective of the image. So there you are. Please be sure to follow, give it a thumbs up, likes, check out the website, check out the blog, and come back tomorrow for stage 3 of the tour. Thanks for taking the time to look.